Hello and welcome to Oh Hi Films Reviews live from London. This is the first time we've done this in person ever in our entire lives.
It's the first time it's the first time we are doing this in person for ages. It's the first time we're in person being recorded.
Yes.
In video mode.
It's
really weird.
New for us. This is new for everything. This might even not go. It might not even go out.
It depends how it goes.
This could just be for me and you, Cameron. For me and you. Today we're going to be taking a look at No Time to Die. It was a new Bond film, been released like 6 times. It's all great. So I'm Cameron, and I'm joined by Jordi Steele, who's going to tell you a little bit about the movie.
Well, actually, Cameron, no, I'm not, because
oh my God,
it's James Bond. He's back. You're gonna go see it anyway, because it's a James Bond film. If you like James Bond films and like Daniel Craig James Bond films, you're gonna want to check this out
for sure.
Daniel Craig is back, of course.
Yes.
In what I believe cements him as my favourite James Bond and probably the best James Bond.
And have you seen all the James Bondages?
I've seen every iteration and I've seen most James Bonds, but I feel like because this film finishes a story,
yes,
so we have his beginning, middle and end story for his portrayal. I feel like he's just the best.
It's unique in that sense, I always feel, because all the other Bonds have none of that. They're all standalone stories mostly.
Yes.
This actually feels like a proper arc, which is nice.
Yes.
And I'm a fan of that. And I was thinking about this. Like, I think it balances that nicely, and I think there are some elements where it tries to do the classic Bond stuff. Sort of misses the mark with that as well, and trying to avoid spoilers. We could talk about Rami Malek's Safin first, I guess, as well, because that's
talk about all the supporting characters,
because that's where I feel the film falls down in that sense. I know I'm derailing it, but I'm just trying to put together my thoughts in my head really quickly.
Yeah,
where it's sort of like, I like the arc, but it tries to balance the arc in a way where it keeps the Bond stuff but doesn't focus enough on the Bond stuff, so that falls to the side. Predominantly with Rami Malek's Safin, which doesn't do anything really in the movie. Yes.
I thought, not to spoil anything, but I thought Rami Malek, his character, was going to be Dr. No. I thought they were going to do what they did with Blofeld in Spectre.
And they should have, because it would have paid off better.
But it's also kind of good that he was an original character, but because he had his own like classic Bond villain gimmick with like sort of like poison, but they don't go into any of like the plant stuff that he does enough. But I think he should have been utilized more,
because it feels like they're sort of focused, and it's more credit to them. I feel like that's the beauty of this movie, is it's a personal movie about James Bond more than it is a classic Bond film.
It is the Logan of James Bond
exactly
films.
That's the best way to put it. I feel it is definitely focusing more on Bond as a character, and it's a character study on James Bond and his family and his bloody, just focusing in on like his personal life more than I think we've ever. And I know this Casino Royale and this iteration of Bond is kind of started enough focusing in on Bond as a person. This really goes all in on that idea, and I've been properly all in. It is, and I think, to its credit, I think it pays off pretty well.
Lea Seydoux is back as Madeleine Fox.
Yep.
And she gets a character this time.
It's nice to have a character.
So she has important things to do. Ben Whishaw is back as back as Q, and he's very good again. He's really made the character his own.
Yes.
Brought a lot of personality to it. I do always picture Paddington whenever I hear him.
Same.
But that's not a bad thing.
No, it's fine.
And what's his name? Ray Fiennes as M,
whose character seems to go off the rails in this one.
It
doesn't follow any of the lines he sort of took in his introduction, and then going into he was only interested in Spectre, or was he interested in Skyfall?
In Skyfall, yeah. And then he becomes
it kind of goes against everything he kind of stands for, I guess, in his sort of, not to reveal everything, but I guess the kind of choices he makes in this movie lead the plot to begin.
And it's always going to be hard for him to match up against Judi Dench.
Yes.
Who's just...
The shadow just looms large.
Yeah. And then Lashana Lynch and Ana de Armas are new characters that come in. Naomh Harris is back as well as Moneypenny. Barely.
Yep.
But Lashana Lynch is back as a new agent of MI6. They do something. I don't want to say it because it might be a spoiler for people that don't know.
It's on the internet.
There is a spoiler.
If you've kind of followed any kind of UK tabloids, it's leaked 100 years ago.
They do something really big with her character and then go back on it in the end.
Yeah.
And I really didn't like it because it felt like it was a waste of time, really.
Yeah.
And then Ana de Armas is great, but not in it enough.
She's a fun side character that James Bond just sort of meets and then.
Yes, and she could not be in it at all.
No, yes, and I feel like I can't remember if this is true. I know I was told by someone, and I don't know if this is cement, but he got the scene added after working on Knives Out.
Oh, right.
And he was like, I want to work with Ana de Armas again. Put her in the film.
Yes.
And this is the scene that came from that. And to be honest, probably one of the best scenes in the movie.
Yeah.
Like that entire Cuba sequence. Is fucking brilliant.
Yeah, she's very good. Also back. Is Jeffrey Wright as Felix from Casino Royale and Quantum of Solace. Max Payne, yeah.
Yes.
And he has a character arc that closes. And this series has closing character arcs.
Bows, it's lovely.
Yeah. And Christoph Waltz isn't in it enough.
No.
He's back though, and there's a scene between Bond and Blofeld in which Daniel Craig just goes into Benoit Blanc a little bit. He gets a bit cheeky, and I was like, I see you, Craig. I know what you're doing. But yeah, it's a fitting end.
Yes.
For Bond, especially after all this time that it's been.
It's been a long time coming,
delayed.
And to be honest, probably going to be the biggest movie of the year in the UK at least.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's beat Skyfall and Spectre's record, which are joint best weekends ever in the UK.
Oh wow!
So it's beat that, or something like that. Maybe not the best weekends ever, but it's beat. It's on track to beat the two biggest movies ever in the UK.
Yeah.
So there you go, and it's the hype. You've been dangling the carrot on the stick. That's what you got to do. You just keep dangling that carrot on the stick.
Yeah.
And every grandparent on the planet will go and see Bond.
Yeah. Finally, a straight white man to come and save the cinema industry.
Save the cinemas for the men.
But also, this film kind of makes me feel like, what are they going to do next? Do they need to do more Bond? They will, but I feel like coming out of it, I'm like, that's it. I've
been sitting thinking, how the fuck do you adjust when you put James Bond? This man has been. Ever since I was conscious, this man has been James Bond. You know what I mean? He's the only Bond I've ever known.
Right.
And I don't know how my little autistic brain is going to cope with a new Bond. And a mate of mine says, it's like having a new doctor. It's like, we've had like 4 doctors in the time it's taken to have one James Bond.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, where did they go? And you have a brilliant idea.
Yeah, I just feel like they should go back in time. Did it? Do a period piece.
Oh, of course.
And have a person of color play it. So go back to World War II time. The problem they're going to have...
Reggie John Page, please. From Bridgerton.
Yes, he'd be great. The problem they're going to have is if they want to go young, because obviously Daniel Craig's been doing it for 15 years, so he's old. They're going to have comparisons to Kingsman. And especially if they go back into like World War II or World War One, they're going to have comparisons to the King's Man.
They can't go
whenever
to World War,
that comes out.
go to World War II.
Yeah.
I don't think they will.
Quentin Tarantino wanted to do a Casino Royale film in like the 60s.
That makes sense. And you can have... Would you go super serious or would you have fun gadgets? Because that's the issue with that idea as well.
Yes. I feel like... I don't feel like he should do Casino Royale again. No. But I would like a Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sort of style feel for James Bond.
And you can finally go back and get Spectre and stuff, because obviously they had to lose the rights to Spectre. Because that got... there was a big legal suit. I can't remember what was going on with that. But they only got that back for Spectre, basically. That was when they kind of reintroduced him.
Yes.
So they could go back and kind of restart the clock again and do a 60s Spectre.
Yeah, and they have lots of time. They've said that MGM has said that they're not looking for a new Bond until like next year. Maybe start writing it after the writer's strike this time.
Well, it's just a production strike, but yes.
So we don't get another Quantum of Solace.
Yeah, all the sets are painted by the the writers at this point. It's like, yes, this'll do.
Mm-hmm. Or shoot it on location. That would be great.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Kari Fukunaga directed this, who did True Detective and Maniac, and was going to do It.
And then didn't do it.
But then didn't do it. It's a shame we didn't get to see children sex. And then it was, I forget who wrote it, but it got help written by Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Yep.
I wish there were more Phoebe Waller-Bridge characters and actors that show up, but
Ana de Armas is extremely Phoebe Waller-Bridge. I always feel. I felt like in that sort of situation, it felt very much like her stamp was on the entirety of the Cuba sequence.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, that kind of leans into the whole Daniel Craig. I want to work with Ana de Armas. Daniel Craig gets what he wants. Daniel Craig asked for Phoebe Waller-Bridge to be on this movie.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Oh, right.
That's why Bloody Danny Boyle left, because Daniel Craig was like, I want to go.
Oh, right.
I want to have creative control, please.
Damn.
Yes. And to be honest, I can't even imagine a Danny Boyle version of this film.
No. Daniel Boyle screams World War era to me for some reason.
If you want to get Danny Boyle and get him for a restart, I don't want a Nolan one, though. I really don't want a Nolan one.
But Tenet.
I don't want a Nolan one.
Yeah.
Have you seen No Time to Die yet? Do you plan on watching No Time to Die? Please let us know in the comments below. If you're on YouTube, remember to subscribe and like the video. If you're on Facebook, like the page, like the video. You can find us on Twitter at OHI Films. I'm at CamsOG. He's at Real Jordi Steele. And for everything else we do, ohifilms.com. We're in London, as you can see around us. So this is going to be our base of operations for the next couple of videos. We're going to be reviewing every movie we kind of see here. It's going to be a great time, so please subscribe while you're here. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye!